welcome to another episode on the Lily Show. But I won't even say another episode. This is another season. We are starting it very well with our wonderful dad, an amazing father, a legend, our OG of our old time called KSM. And today we are going to have him all around as we discuss on our team called the Fatherhood. It's a special edition, and this season we are going to have it so amazing. Thank you, Dad. Thank you for having us.
It is an absolute pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
And I'm very happy to be
Yes.
to be here or to have you here.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. Thank you so much. This is season 3 of our program. Definitely we'll discuss on lifestyle, generally lifestyle, but our main focus is getting the society better, making the world a better place for everyone to live within. And this season we are discussing on fatherhood.
Fatherhood.
There could not be better person to do this discussion with if it is not you. Yes, many people felt fatherhood are not well celebrated around the world. Some feel that the burden of being a father is too much, so meeting up or keeping up to that tag fatherhood, it's somehow impossible for them. But I know you guys have done it before. You are still doing it. And you are the better person to explain to us what is the role of a father, or who do we call, or who do we describe as being a father in this our generation? How do we refer who a father is? Our fans will really love to hear from you. From Brother, yes.
Well, I think fatherhood, the key thing is all about responsibility.
Okay.
It's as you're sitting here as my daughter, you didn't decide when you wanted to come into this world and who your parents are going to be and what work you're going to. You had no hand in the decision. Your parents got together, they had their fun, and then you came out as a product of it. So I think the first thing for a fatherhood to understand is this, that you have brought a child into this world. They have nothing to do with it. You made the decision to do whatever you want to do, and now the child is there. And the first thing you must know is that you are responsible for what you have brought into the world. That's the key thing. So I think for me, the very, very important thing I want men to understand is this. Once you have the ability to accept responsibility of something that's your own creation, it marks you as a father.
All right. That's a wonderful answer coming from you. Now, you talked about responsibility.
Yes.
Because this generation, we are now fail to understand what fatherly responsibilities are. From your own understanding or from your own point of view, how do you tell a child to be responsible as a man? What are the responsibilities he needs to, indulge in before he can be able to say, oh, I'm a real dad?
I think what many fathers and parents maybe do not understand, that every child comes into the world with their own unique things that they are brought into the world, And as a parent or as a father, you're supposed to really study your child and understand what it is about them that makes them unique.
Okay.
And then encourage them. My father said something that I will never forget, because I think that was his style of bringing us up. And that's what I use with my children. He said, you cannot develop your child. You can only guide your child to develop.
Okay.
And the reason is very interesting, to develop your child is to say that I am responsible for my child and everything that they do. I have to dictate to them what they should do.
Okay.
I always wanted to be a lawyer. I couldn't be a lawyer, but I want my child to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Or I wanted to be a doctor, and there's no doctor in my family, so this child must be a doctor. When you do that, you are trying to develop your child and not guiding them to develop. The difference in guiding your child to develop is that knowing their strengths, knowing what they can do and guiding them in that direction with your support. So I think many fathers sometimes miss that. They think that as a father, it's my responsibility to develop you, to make you become what I want you to become. But the key thing is look at your child and see where they are heading towards. Of course, you guide them. And if where they're heading towards is productive, then you guide them rather than forcing them. So I think that's what many fathers don't understand. And when your child is a kid, when you give birth and you have a child and they are growing up, they need a friend.
Okay.
A friend to be there by them, to guide them. They need a friend. Mm-hmm. But when they are growing and become teenagers, they don't need a friend anymore. They need a father. Their father is the one that's strict. The father is the one that will guide them. And there are many adults who have become friends with their kids that they can't even guide them. They don't want to make them angry. They don't want to say anything that they don't want them to be. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Dad. But I have my question based on your guidance. In Africa, I'm using us as a case study, right? Fathers were taught to be in a provisional figures. That kind of brings a lot of distraction in being present in their child's life, because when a father becomes present in his or her child's life, the provision of guidance become available. But when Africa as a wise, we were taught, our fathers taught how a man how to be provisional, it becomes a very dicey situation in Africa. So I'm asking again, when a father becomes a provisional father, and is not there, do you think he can be able to give the child a proper guidance that he needs?
To give guidance to a child and let the child relate to the guidance, you must be there with them. Okay. They must see you as their father. They must see you as somebody that they depend on. They must see you as somebody that knows so much because of your experience that they are looking to you for guidance. So it's very, very, very important for the father to be there. You can't be an absentee father because of whatever you're doing and then show up in your child's life whenever you feel like it and then try to make the laws for them. They don't understand that. They can't relate to that,
So in that sense, being absent in your child's life is a no-no for your father. So regardless of the kind of work you are doing, you need to understand how to create, or you have to understand how to create that presence provision.
Very, very, very important to bond with your child. Have that bond, between father and son, father and daughter. There is a bond. They understand that, this is my father. I can tell him this, or I can do this with my father. There's a bond. But when there's no bond, it's like you're not the father, you're just a man in the family. Your son or daughter sees you as a man, some man. When they see you as a man, you don't have any bond. But when they see you as a father, then there's a link between you and them. You can talk to them and they will listen, or maybe they won't listen, but they will try and understand something. There must be that bond. So for fathers who unfortunately, for whatever reason, are not a part of their child or their children's growing up and upbringing, they have done themselves a great disservice because they have cut that bond with their child, and it will be very, very difficult to advise or even guide them because they don't feel the bond.
So as a father, you've heard from our OG, our legend, and our dad. You see, it's very important for you to have a bond with your child, because without it, they will have a lot to miss. You have no say in their life, apparently. And I think it's one of the major challenges we are facing here in Africa. Anyway, let's go for a quick commercial break. When we'll come back, we will continue on this conversation on fatherhood.
Wrinkles? No! Abro Spray Starch, giving your outfit the crisp, clean, and professional edge that defines true elegance. Abro Spray Starch, step out and stand out.
Mr. James, Hello, sir. How may I help you? Mr. James!
Wow, you look elegantly beautiful.
Thank you.
At this point, I'm no longer sick.
With our spray starch, elegance is everything.
Wow! What did you use on your dress?
Abra Spray Starch does just the trick.
Wow!
Abra Spray Starch, elegantly bringing out the confidence you need.
Marketed and distributed by Kosharish Ghana Limited, number 5 Spintex Road, Accra, Ghana. For inquiries, please call 0243 690 066. Abro Spray Starch. Elegance is confidence.
Welcome back from the commercial break, and thank you for being with us. And I want to say a special thank you to all our sponsors, Kosharish Ghana Limited, the distributors of our Abro product in Africa or worldwide. I want to also thank Nancy Black for my wonderful makeup as we welcome back on the show once again. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much. Wow, still on the fatherhood. You have told us about the presence of a father. You've told us what fatherhood is all about. And there's another thing I wanted us to get more clarity on when it comes to fatherhood. Mothers are more celebrated than fathers. Is there any specific reason, or do you think there's a reason behind that? Or do you think fathers are lacking behind, or their struggles are not being heard? That's why we're having such a challenge, because we need to know. A lot of people, when I talked about fatherhood, they don't even know we exist. Actually, forget that one. They don't care about us. All they need is bring money, bring. But I don't think so. I feel the era we are now, men should begin to take that chances. But do you think there is a reason why mothers are more celebrated than the fathers?
You take a quick look even at the music for mothers.
Okay.
Sweet mother, I'll never forget you.
Yeah.
For the suffer you
As if she's the one suffering.
And when you're looking at the father side, they say, I want to give you my father. There's something that they did about fatherhood. It's like,
oh God, I don't know. I don't know, but I know that fathers have been missing in the equation.
Exactly. And here's the thing, the mothers nurture us.
Okay.
Even when I'm growing up, if I need milk, I'm going to go to my mother. She has the breast. She has the breast milk. So the natural inclination to go towards your mother, it's something you can't debate. She's the one that's feeding you. She's the one, everything. So mothers have that presence in the life of their children by default. Yeah. However, it doesn't mean that the fathers must be absent. I can breastfeed my child, but I can play with my child. I can do other things with my child. But sometimes, in many occasions, the men just leave everything to the woman. Go to your mother, blah, blah, go to your mother. So the child, right from very, very child, develop that instinct and bond with the mother. Because their fathers, somehow, they don't realize that they are absenting themselves from their child's life by everything pushing to the mother. Mom. Yeah. But the modern fatherhood, I go to my nephews now, and I'm seeing them come up with their children. I'm like, wow, they are present. They are playing with them. They are engaging them. They'll take them out on a ride, even if the mother can't go. Oh, come, let's, they do things that create that bond between them and the children, Yeah. So you realize that the kids these days who have come from that kind of upbringing, it's not all about mother. It's also about daddy. Because their fathers have made sure that they are present in their lives. But most men really forget that. Number one, there's a class of men that are very, very irresponsible anyway. So all they want to do is, have fun, make the baby, and then they just get lost. There's that class there. That's not what I'm talking about. But the father that's with the mom and they're married and having children, please make sure that you are present in the lives of your kids. And realize that the more you tell them, oh, come mommy, or go to your mom, you are letting them establish a bond and you're leaving yourself out of the equation. but you have to make sure that you're present and be a part of the equation. Because there was a time that everything was mother, and now there's a certain level of generation too that dad, let me tell dad. Even sometimes women go, everything is your dad.
Yeah.
It's because they are present in their lives, and it shouldn't give a child a chance to compete with his mother and father.
No.
Do it together in such a way that moms and dad are always present and they have a choice. And kids are very smart
They're
though.
very.
They know who to play against,
Yeah.
They know, this one, then let me go by my dad, they will, or let me go by my mom, this,
Listen to me,
But
yeah.
the important thing is be present there, both of you, so that you give them the choice,
So we're still talking on the presence. When you as a father pushes a certain responsibility to the woman, she takes more glory. And you don't need to be jealous. I think this is one of the factors why we feel that men are being outnumbered in terms of celebration. But we are with our OGs today. He's giving us bomber-to-bomber advice back. So I would really love all my fans to stay tuned and keep listening to him.
Late night study sessions, endless assignments, and now these urchins and mosquitoes.
You guys are sitting here just have you done the assignment Mr. Pachi gave us?
How do we do this assignment? These mosquitoes.
Let me quickly upload this and deal with these mosquitoes.
See miracle. Super Blast Mosquito Spray, the all-natural spray to keep your home mosquito free. Mom, this is what I call a good night's sleep.
Oh yes, baby. With Super Blast, you get to sleep comfortably and wake up refreshed.
Marketed and distributed by Kosharish Ghana Limited, number 5 Sprintex Road, Accra, Ghana. Please call 0243 690 066. Super Blast Mosquito Spray. One blast, total protection.
And then back to you. How do we describe the modern fatherhood to this generation fatherhood?
Well, modern fatherhood understands that they have to be there, and they start out from very, very early, even at the time that their wives are pregnant, you see them rubbing their wives' stomach, talking to the kid, being active from as early as when the child is in the womb. They feel like, well, I put the child there, I'm a part of this child. So modern fatherhood is trying to be more responsible and be more present,
Done.
But the fatherhood, the traditional archaic fatherhood that we're used to, is that no, the man is the man. The woman must go through certain things and you only show up only when needed, So that style also give you a child who, is not connected. I was talking to a friend of mine just yesterday and he said, he was proudly showing me the grades that his daughter has had in school. It was all A. They said, KSM, I'm in trouble. I said, why? I said, I promised her that for every A she gets, I'll give her this amount of money.
Wow.
So now I owe my daughter, because look at all the A's she's got. But that's what I'm talking about. She is a part of the child's success and upbringing and everything.
Yeah.
He has not isolated himself
from it. Yeah, because I know that traditional fatherhood, I'm sorry to use this word, this modern fathers that we have want to make a reference. During our great-grandfathers, all we do is just go out, bring money. Why do we have to come home and still do this, do that, and they begin to make some mothers feel, look, you don't know what you are doing. And that has been, to be frank with you, I'm seeing this new generation trying to refer back to the traditional fatherhood. And I don't know, from your own perspective, do you think is the best way for this young generation to go about, or they should just forget about that fact because it never helped? And if they are going to look at it, it will still not help them.
Yeah. No, you're making a very, very important point because, there's always been that, what we call gender issues going on between men and women and who's to do what and when. You know, as a mother and a woman, that is your role. You're a woman and you're supposed to take care of the child and breastfeed and do everything. The man is the one that goes out and makes the money and then brings the money home, and they dictate and decide everything that will go on. And that's very old school.
Very old
That's
school.
very, very old school. That's was the time when my father, where they were the men and they went to do the hunting and bring the food home and then come home and dictate, and it's gone. Unfortunately, some of the young guys that are coming up now, for some strange reason, believe that manhood is all about that.
Yeah.
And I am the final authority. It's old school. And I advise all the young men growing up and coming that is old school. Forget it. These days we have women who are dynamic. Women are doing things that are dynamic. They are bringing home the bacon. They have money too. Yeah. And so I think the partnership has now changed to a new era where it's equal partnership in terms of contributing to the family. I'm not talking about equal partnership in terms of who's the boss and who's not the boss. No, I don't get into that, because there are many people who unfortunately think that the man is the boss. He has the final say. Whatever he says, that's end of discussion. But I think we are getting to the era where men should understand that the women and their contribution is equally important. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so between the man and the woman, they can bring their children up to understand that in this world now, as we live in, there's parity. And men should not be afraid that when I say that my wife and I are equal, it doesn't mean that in terms of power, in terms of everything, the woman is built to do things like... No, it doesn't mean like that. All it means is that in terms of intelligence, in terms of debate, and in terms of what you want to discuss for the benefit of the family, the woman has as much right to contribute, I mean, for me, the era is one way. This is what the man has said. It's over. I think it's a cake.
It's a cake.
That's what I think. And I know there are many men who say, no, the man is the head of the house. And I can understand. I'm married. I'm a grandfather. So I've been through all. I've been through fatherhood, and I'm now a grandfather. And there's no way that I will disrespect my wife because, she's a woman. What she's saying is not important. No way.
Because looking at this message coming from you, you came from that traditional part.
Yeah.
And you are not going to accept that should still continue to roll.
No.
As
because at that time, even the social structure just made sure that the man was the sole provider.
Yes.
Even if the woman was providing, it wasn't as much as the man was. And that's how I grew up in. The man was the man. He is the soul, or he has the majority shares in whatever, But now I know that is not very true. The man is not the soul. There are women who are equally dynamic, Unfortunately, many of the younger women in your age group and younger are being told that, look, no matter how brilliant, no matter what, make sure that you submit to the man. I don't like the word submission. I don't like the word submitting. If you're going to submit, it's an equal partnership, And so I don't think that by nature the woman is the one that everything the man says, hey. No, it's a partnership. Sometimes the man is right, sometimes the man is wrong. And when the man is wrong, the woman has the right to say, no, this direction is wrong. But it shouldn't be where it is by default everything that the man does is right. It can be.
You heard from our dad. You can never be right all the time.
Yes.
And you being a modernized father had not changed the fact that you are a man. Not being a traditional dad still did not change you as a man.
Yeah.
You remain who you are. Thank you, Dad, for giving this message. And we couldn't have gotten it better from any other person except
Yeah.
you.
You get it better.
Yeah.
Plenty
No,
people.
you are the legend because you have been a father and you are now a granddad. So there have been a transition.
Yeah.
A certain transition that qualifies you to kind of dish out a lot for this new generation. Anyway, back to you again. How was your relationship with your dad? How was it?
Well, the relationship with my dad, he was a final authority, you know.
Okay, so he was practicing the tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
My
okay.
father was a traditional dad,
Oh, okay.
you know. And I think I'm learning from it because even though he was a traditional dad, there's a mug like this, you know, and it has a very funny writing on it.
Oh, okay.
And the mug says, "I am the boss of this house, and I have my wife's permission to say so." And I love that mug, you know. I am the boss of this house,
okay,
but I have my wife's permission to say that.
Okay.
Do you know what it means is that,
It means a whole lot.
It means a whole lot. You are the man, you are the boss, but you are doing that with your wife's permission. So there's a balance going on there.
Yes.
And I think that's the kind of family I grew up in, you know. My father was the man and he was the boss and everything, but I would not mess with my mom. Because I realized that without my mom, my father's bossness didn't carry that much weight. You know, they say the man is the head of the house, but the neck is the woman.
The woman.
And no head can turn without the neck. So it's a partnership. You're the head, but you need the neck to turn. And when you practice that in any family that recognizes that there's a head, but there's also a neck that the head is on, it's a perfect balance.
That's wonderful. But let me ask you again. Your dad being a traditional dad and you now, is there anything you think you would have changed from the way he was raising you guys then as a traditional dad?
I think my father came out of that traditional era, but he was sort of radical because even in his time, he was the one that was telling me that you cannot develop your child. You can only guide your child to develop. So even though he came out of that traditional, archaic, old school, he was very liberal in his thinking, you know. And my father was a man of God. He was the head of the church.
Okay.
And you can imagine, hey, Charlie, or so forth, your father is the head of the Presbyterian church. Hey, you must be very strict in the house and things like that. But you'll be surprised. He was not that strict. He just encouraged us to do things that he saw that we had the potential to develop in, and he pushed us in that way.
And this wasn't that common in those days.
No,
it wasn't a common
it wasn't
way
common.
of raising kids.
It wasn't common.
Because in those days, in fact, hearing a father is like hearing a thunderbolt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think that's why you came up a wonderful dad.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, we're very grateful to Dad for raising him to be a better father.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know.
We're going for another commercial break. When we'll come back, we will do our final conclusion, having a wonderful discussion with our daddy here on our special edition. Thank you.
Late night study session, endless assignments, and now these urchins and mosquitoes.
You guys are sitting here gisting. Have you done the assignment Mr. Pachi gave us?
How do we do this assignment? These mosquitoes.
Let me quickly upload this and deal with these mosquitoes.
See miracle. Super Blast Mosquito Spray, the all-natural spray to keep your home mosquito free. Mom, this is what I call a good night's sleep.
Oh yes, baby. With Super Blast, you get to sleep comfortably and wake up refreshed.
Marketed and distributed by Kwaku Ghana Limited, number 5 Sprintex Road, Accra, Ghana. Please call 0243 403-690-066. Topo Blast Mosquito Spray. One blast, total protection.
Come back from the commercial break once again as we are about to get to the final conclusion of our interaction with our wonderful dad. But before we continue, let me say a very big thank you to all our sponsors, Charis Ghana Limited, Nancy Black for my wonderful makeup, and Lily Shop for giving us a wonderful package for Daddy here. Dad, we are about to conclude on this interview. It's been so wonderful having you. Very, very wonderful. I want to ask you, how has he been raising 5 kids? Some of us are raising 1. No, we are not even there. 2 now, we are complaining.
Yeah.
How has he been raising 5 kids, and now you are now a grandfather?
Yes.
How has the journey been?
Oh, it's been fantastic. Of course, I think everything is a mind thing. What do you expect? Do you expect that all of a sudden all your children will be like great and everything will go straight up and everything will be forward? No. Every kid has their own challenges. Some need more attention than others. Some need more encouragement. Some are just amazing. I think as a father, just get involved with the children, and when they are kids, be their father and direct them. When you have kids, be their father. They need direction, they need guidance. Do it as a father. When they are growing old, then the fatherhood role starts going down, and then they become your friends. You want them as friends because they have to be able to communicate with you on anything. Your daughter should be able to come up with you to tell you that I think I'm pregnant. I mean, I'm saying this like a joke, but you have to get a daughter who is so confident, or a son who can come and tell you that I'm sorry, I think this is what has happened. So what's the realistic thing to do now? Then we go to that level. There are so many options, but be realistic. You don't become, and this is very difficult for everybody, become very judgmental. How dare you do this? No, that doesn't solve anything. That just aggravates the situation. Be as angry as you want, but sit down calmly and find out what you do next.
All right.
Dad,
I want to ask you one special question, very, very important. Is there any special school we need to send our male kids to go and learn about fatherhood? Or should we expect these kids to learn fatherhood from their own father's way of behavior?
Whether you like it or not, the kids will pick up signals from what they see. Whether it's from the mother or the father, how the mother reacts, how the father reacts, whether you like it or not, that's what the kids pick up. So whether you like it or not, the kids learn from what they see. So I think it's very, very important as a father or a mother to make sure and understand that whatever you're doing, you are sending signals to the kid.
Kids.
So what if you are unconsciously sending the wrong signals, it will manifest in the kids.
All right. That's a wonderful statement. But let me ask you, there's this notion they do say that when a man is not a good husband to the wife, how can he be a good father to his own children?
Yeah.
Is that narrative right? Is there anything out of that narrative that we can say yes, it's true?
No, I think when the child is growing up and they have a responsible father, the responsibility of the father includes the fact that they are respectful to their mother and also to the children. If a child is growing up and you're a father and you disrespect your wife so much and the children see it, you are giving them a very bad signal.
So it's true that if you are not a good husband, you can be a good father.
It's very true. I mean, if you're such a terrible husband to the extent that you disrespect your wife blatantly in front of your kids, that's not good fatherhood.
That's not a good father.
Yeah, it's a wrong signal you're sending.
So you heard from the nurse's mouth, once you are not a good husband, you cannot be a good father. It's as simple as A, B, C, D. Because there are people who says you can be a bad husband and be a wonderful father to your children. I actually disagree with that narration, but I'm also happy that I'm not the only one.
No,
that
no, no,
you,
no.
the legend.
Unless you're telling me that the children are somewhere in another country and you're just with your wife in a civil place and you torture her and disrespect her, and your children don't know that, you know. But if you're on the same roof with your kids and your wife and you disrespect her and don't do the right things, that's what they learn. So you can't say, oh, I'm a good father to my children because anything they want, I'll buy for them. But when it comes to their mother, I'll disrespect her and hit her and abuse her, and at the same time expect that you're going to have good children. No, I don't think so.
All right, that is a very wonderful. and Dad, please, can you tell us the difference between a father and a dad? Is there any difference between a father and a dad?
Oh, as a father, I can be a father too. You are my daughter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I see plenty of people come and say, they call me dad. You know?
Yeah.
So they just, it's because how I deal with them and everything, you know. So fatherhood entails the exercise of responsibility. You know, if I say somebody is my father, I believe that it entails that he has been there for me. He fathered me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He brought me up.
you
He
up.
understands me. I have a bond with my father. But I can call anybody a dad. Hey, hi, dad. Oh, is that your dad? Oh, no, he's been coming to my house, so I call him dad, you know.
Yeah.
But the father entails more than just a dad, you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So please, there's a difference. A dad can be anybody, but a father is that who brings a child to the world, nurtures the child, provide for the child, and protect the child. So there's a huge difference between a father and a dad. Dad, thank you so much for being on our set today. And the last but not the least, there this tradition that we do. You can pick one, you can pick here, you can pick here, and sort it out and pick one answer, one question and answer to us.
Oh, there's a question behind it?
Yes, there's a question.
Oh, and I was playing with that. Okay. What did you tell your dad you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Actually, my father was a pastor, a minister, a reverend minister. And I liked what he was wearing and how he came up with the church choir at the back. So I really thought that one day I was going to be a reverend minister. So I told him I just want to be like him.
So what changed it? What changed? He never asked you what changed it. Why did you change being a reverend father?
No, he never asked me, number one, you know. I think by the time that I was growing,
You changed your mind?
Oh, yeah.
Why and what changed your mind?
Oh, I realized that there were more exciting things that I wanted to do than be a pastor, because when I was a kid, I was just idolizing him. He was like an idol. So I wanted to do whatever he was doing. But when I was growing up, I saw there were other challenges and more interesting things that I want to do than just following in his footsteps.
That's interesting. So sometimes it's not what we say we are going to become that we end up becoming. And that's just another set or another story coming from our dad. So most of us said I want to be A, B, C, but we end up being Z and E. Thank God for all that. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Thank you very much.
We've come to the end of the show for today, and we are going to see you guys again next week. So I'm going to be showing you one. This is a spray starch.
Oh, wow.
From Abro.
Abro?
Yes, sir.
I see.
Yes, this is their mosquito spray. And this...
Oh, and it's called Blast, eh? You blast the insects.
Yes, very good for insects, yes.
And a spray starch, okay.
Yes, and this is actually coming from me to you. So
this is from Lily.
Lily's show, yes, sir.
Yeah, very happy to be on Lily's show. And the gifts keep coming.
And this is another one for disinfectant. You can get all this from Lily's shop. They're also part of the sponsors for the show.
Okay.